Hey, real estate rock stars, welcome to the whole enchilada of real estate investing, the only podcast that serves up the full feast of street smart strategies to build wealth and take control of your financial future. I'm Lou Brown, and I've been in the real estate game since 1976, so I've learned how to make the whole plate worth it. Each week, I'll be dishing out creative financing hacks and proven systems that help investors build multi-million-dollar businesses. No fluff, just the good stuff, straight from the source. Ready to dig in and start making deals? Let's get to it. Well, welcome everyone to another edition of the whole enchilada of real estate investing with Lou Brown. And I have another amazing person for you to meet today, Karianne Klomp. She's all the way from the great state of Florida by way of Utah. So she's been to Utah and now in the great state of Florida. So welcome, Karianne.
How are you?
I'm doing fantastic. How about you?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me.
I'm loving it. So tell us a little bit about yourself and tell us what you do that is such great voodoo for everybody else.
I love that voodoo. I am so into that. I am a real estate investor. I was passively investing for about 15 years. And then my husband was bedridden after getting COVID, and I had to figure something out. So I decided I've got to take this real estate from just, a couple properties on the back end and make something of it. We have 6 kids, and including triplets. So when you have to figure something out, it's a big deal. And so we moved across the country. We sold a brand new custom home that we had just built in Utah and sold our business so that we could get my husband better. I was his full-time caretaker. And in my, my journey in real estate full-time investing, what I've discovered is that there's a lot of great programs and there's a lot of great experts, but there's not a specific place for women that's run by women. And so I am launching a women's real estate investing society called She X3, Educate, Elevate, and Empower. So I am taking my skills that I've learned, which are not expert in everything, because I've also discovered maybe I have a problem with authority. I don't like it when someone tells me that they're the expert in everything. I'm not the expert in everything. But I am the expert in women and the way that we think and the way that we want to work. And so She X3 is an investing society built for women, for our lives, the way we think, the time we have, and with the way that we want community to function.
I love it. I love it. Well, there's a lot of great female entrepreneurs, and I was raised by a woman. But the funny thing is, I didn't have a father, and she was an immigrant to this country, so we didn't have
Wow.
any kind of safety net at all. And I definitely have a lot of respect for women who carry a lot of weight out there in society and raising kids and everything else. So my hat is off to you for
Thank you.
recognizing that that is a group of folks that need support. And we've got about 50% of my licensees are female as well. So it's a very great group of folks, and I enjoy the coaching and the training with that. So what is it that makes what you say to ladies that are in the business unique?
What makes what we're doing unique with She X3 is that I think when you buy into many different programs, you're given, one asset class or one strategy. What She X3 looks to do is, how do we bring in not just me and my expertise, but we're bringing in other women who are true experts. Now, I am a lender and a part owner of a RV park. I am never going to say that I am an RV park specialist, but guess what? I have an expert who is my friend Michelle, who has 10 RV parks. So she's coming in and teaching a module on RV parks. I have done a few fix and flips, but I wouldn't say I'm an expert. I have an expert who has done over 40. She's coming in and doing a module. So I'm bringing in the real estate experts so that you can learn from women who are actually actively investing in these strategies, but that's the educate pillar. Then with elevate, because we're women, it does not matter. You can confirm this, Lou, being raised by a woman. Doesn't matter how much we know. If we don't feel like we're smart enough, or we feel like we're too late, we're too old, I'm too this, I'm too that, I'm not good with numbers, I'm not smart. Doesn't matter how much education you give us. If we don't believe we can do it,
Amen.
nothing's going to happen. So the elevate pillar is mindset coaching, personal development coaching, where once again, I'm finding other women who are experts in these areas. So I have my foundational modules that I'm doing and things that I pepper in that I am an expert in, that I have done. But I'm bringing in women so that they're getting multiple points of view, multiple touch points with other women that they may end up partnering with or teaming with or lending with. And then for the empower, because once we get there, it's like, okay, so now you understand that you can do this. You are smart enough. The empower is basically the tools to be able to take the mindset, the education. Where do we take that? Okay, so we have a women's health and wealth financial planner. We have someone who does portfolio insurance. So it's like, okay, we gave you these pieces. Now the empower is how to take it, make it bigger, and scale it in a way that you can take these pieces, what work for you, and then we put them all in this beautiful private community
Mm.
where they have access to each other. We do live Zooms, we do connection calls, we do monthly meetups. And then, of course, we'll have a conference, we'll have something that I want them to have a place so that they feel like they have options. Because when my husband collapsed and my kids were 11 down to 5, I felt like I had no options and I didn't know where to go. I am building what I needed for those women who, even if they buy 2 properties just because they want a cushion or they want to build equity or they have retirement, that even if they're in a stock market where they're making 5-6% a year, depending on inflation, you're only losing between 6 to 12% a year. It's not an actual doable model. But I really feel like between me and the experts that I'm bringing in and the power of all these women together, I think women as a community, they're so much stronger when they're together. And so if we can be in a place where we can work together, build together, lift each other up, this is where women thrive.
I love it. I love it. Well, I'm going to turn you on to some of my solopreneurs too.
I love that.
Female that have built amazing real estate businesses.
Yeah,
And so, yeah, that sounds like a great connection for sure.
absolutely.
So I love what you're doing, and you've got a whole background in doing this. You didn't just get started in real estate. What was your initiation? What got you into it?
I would say, like, initially, we did it because we had access to properties through, family or things back in the day. But with my husband getting sick and realizing I had to create some serious skills and discover what those were. Because if you're just passively doing 1 or 2 properties on the side, it's not a job. It's not something you think about on a daily basis. We had a midterm rental and a long-term rental, so nothing crazy. But then I discovered as I joined other masterminds that, like, these are where I'm really good. So these are areas I'm great at raising capital. I'm great at business structuring. I'm great at strategy and development. And 17-year-old Karianne would say that sounds so lame, but I love how do we take something that is good and make it better? Because I think a lot of the things that there's so many programs, great, this is good. And like we were talking about earlier, this is good, but how do we just make it a bit better? Or how do we make it so that people are also giving back? Or how do we make it so it affects others than just us? You don't have to reinvent the wheel. I just want the wheel to be better. And I just want the
Yeah.
wheel to be tailored to women because also I'm in a bunch of these real estate masterminds. I knew that it's like I'm going in there for the community and some base knowledge to see where I want to go with this. But I don't have time for a 3-hour Zoom. I simply don't. I get about 20 minutes in and I'm thinking, I need to water the plants. I have to pick up dry cleaning. I need to make sure the kids have laundry done. And I feel like that's most women. We do not have long time during the day where we can sit and just focus. We just don't. It's not our minds and it's not our lives. So all of our lessons in our modules, 20 minutes. Because I can fold a load of laundry in 20 minutes. I can have a Zoom call in 20 minutes. I can pick up my kids in the car line in 20 minutes. These are all things that I've thought very carefully about. How do we make this accessible and easy for women and their lives? What do they need? Because at the end of the day, it's not about me. It's not even about my family. I mean, it affects us and it affects me because it's about these women. What do they need? How can I serve them? Because if I serve them and they grow and they learn and they excel, then we all grow, we all learn, and we all excel.
I love it. I love it. Well, there's a comedian one time that said some pretty profound words, and it was that women think like a ball of string, where one thing is connected to the next.
100%.
It goes just like this. And men think in boxes. It's all in the
Yes.
box. You take it off the shelf, you open it up, you do what you do, you put it back in the box, you put it back on the shelf, you get another box down.
Yeah.
You do that. And I said, that is profound. I
It
love
is it is profound and it is true. And that ball of string usually like starts around 2 a.m. when you wake up and you're like, this and then this. And if you're lucky, those thoughts are things that you're growing and things that you're doing. And She X3 started in those long nights of how do I feed my kids? How do I take care of my husband? Is this going to be terminal? There are many months we didn't know.
Ooh, yeah.
And so what would I need? What would I need and how do I find it? Because if nothing else, and I have no problem being like, I am not the smartest person in the room, and I'm absolutely fine with that. But I am the most resourceful person you will ever meet. Because if I see a problem, I will figure out a way to solve it. And it may take a long time, or it may be instant, or it may be easy, or it may be very difficult, but I will find an answer to the problem.
Nice, nice. Well, that is good advice too. Don't give up, don't stop. Find there is a solution out there. Get with it, stick with it, cause things
Mhm.
to happen, and as a result of that, it will show up as opposed to just giving up and walking away. So I appreciate that. Now, someone just getting started in real estate, what would your advice to them be?
What I am really working on right now in this vein is I don't think women understand, or anyone generally, they see and hear the advertisements or the YouTube, like, do it this way. And they never consider what does my lifestyle look like right now? And how much time do I want to put in? And they kind of just, okay, short-term rentals, that sounds good. Because it does, it sounds good. No one's ever going to get on a commercial and be like, short-term rentals can be a lot of work. And you're going to get phone calls and terrible reviews, and people are going to steal your brand new fridge. True story. I have a friend that it happened to.
Oh,
But no one says that. They say, you're going to make a ton of money and you're going to have all these rentals. And so you buy into whichever commercial is the best. What I think people need to do is say, okay, what kind of a time commitment am I looking at? What am I prepared for? I have 6 young kids. I have a husband who's recovering from a long illness. I do not want to be the person that you call at 3 a.m. if your toilet is not flushing.
Right.
That's not me.
Amen.
I know who I am. I know what time I want to do. Right now, I am semi-passive. I raise capital for my partners. I lend my money. This is what I do. And I oversee some of the property management because that's what I have time and attention for. So I would say, know yourself and be honest with yourself. If you are the person who wants stability, you're not going to be the person who walks away from your 9 to 5 where you're getting paid $100,000 a year, which is fine. Everybody says you should be an entrepreneur. Guess what? It's hard.
Oh, yeah.
It's
Well,
very hard. And no, you don't have to work a 9 to 5. No, you're right. I'm working like a 5 a.m. to midnight some days. And for some people, like obviously you, Lou, this is something that you thrive in. But just because it doesn't come natural doesn't mean you have to do it that way. Find the lane that fits.
exactly. And I'll add to that, and you can hire the rest. So
100%.
that doesn't resonate, that doesn't feel good to you, doesn't mean that it's not a necessary thing.
Right.
But there's somebody else that it does resonate with, and they can become members of the team.
Yeah. Partner with them, delegate to them. Yeah. Because
Oh,
you're not going to be everything. And you shouldn't.
that's
You'll be
perfect.
exhausted.
So tell us about your best deal and your worst deal.
Ooh. I'm going to knock on wood and say I haven't had a worst deal.
Oh,
Um,
yay.
I haven't had a worst deal. I've had a private lending deal go very long, but because I structured it correctly and I have really good collateral in place, I'm secure. But, this last year in the real estate market, especially around commercial, not great.
A little
It's
shaky.
like just a little. And a lot of people have and it always happens in election years and different cycles with economy. This is what you have to know and what you have to be prepared for. So I had a 90-day deal it's taken like 13 months. But once again, I'm making late fees, I'm secured, I'm protected, and which is also why you make sure that you know what you're doing, you know your lane, and you know your strengths.
Equity.
Yes, every time.
Yeah, there.
Every time. So that I would say right now is my worst deal just because as someone who when I first did that, that was the capital that I had after selling our house and moving across the country. So it was
And you weren't
very
planning
scary.
for it to be tied up for an extended period of
No,
time.
no, 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 no. At that point, it was, this is going to be out for 90 days. This is money we need to live. I figured it out. Like I said, I am resourceful. I am resilient. I did figure it out, but it doesn't mean that it's not extremely stressful. Those first deals, and I think that's a misnomer when people are like, I don't know why I'm so nervous. It's because it's scary and it's the first time. And that first deal you do, whether it's a flip or an acquisition or a lending, you will be terrified and you should be terrified because it's new and it's normal. It's normal. But then it's just like anything else. You get through it. It goes well. We're fine. We're going to be fine. But I also think that's the power in teaming up with other people or in having people in your community or your mentorship who have been through it to walk you through it and make you comfortable.
Exactly. Well, that's one of the things that I learned in the business too. When those disruptions occur, what is it you do in your business to cause your business to sustain when everybody else is crashing and burning? And what we did is just simply flip the script on real estate. We find the buyer before we buy. So then the terror isn't so terrorizing. If you have a
Right.
customer with $50,000 down and you just need to buy a house for them, buy it right, buy it cheap, buy it creatively, and
Yeah.
then boom, you can put them in there and make a spread on it. So I love that you're thoughtful about that word stress and the concept of being able to protect yourself from the stress that is potential in the business because, hey, it's a real business and there are disruptions in the economy that we need to plan for.
Yeah.
That's good stuff. So you have taken on making it available for folks to learn from you. How does that work?
I was going to launch this last month, but needed some realignment issues. Sometimes, once again, this is the life of entrepreneurship, right? It's up and down and all around. But there was a hiccup where there wasn't an alignment with the partnership, which happens all the time.
Yeah.
And but if you know what you want and you know your goals and you know your values, then you can move forward. So in February, I will be teaching a free masterclass called Build Wealth with Confidence for women who are ready to invest in themselves. Because I think, you said your mom was a single mom and she raised, we do not put ourselves first. Women have a very hard time. I'm teaching a class on it because I need the class more than anyone else. I can't. I struggle. Like the only time I can buy something for myself, it's like, I need a tax write-off but this is for my girls it's, we have a hard time putting ourselves first. And so I think that's why real estate and investing, as well as this component of what do you get personally, go so well and hand in hand is because these women need to be able to say, okay, by putting myself first, I'm actually giving back to my family. I'm actually giving back to my community because you can't pour from an empty cup, right? So the women can come to my masterclass, hear about what She X3 is, why we're doing it the way we're doing it, because it is different. But I think that's what makes it great is there's no one person who has all the answers. Please don't come to me for all the answers. I have 6 kids who do that and it's exhausting. But I want a community of women who are doing this together. I love a sounding board. I want someone to poke holes in it and have. And it's the greatest gift to have someone question everything you're building. And so when they come to the masterclass, they can hear about She X3. And when they sign up, it is pre-recorded modules, foundational modules from me, as well as expert modules from all these other women who are actively in these spaces doing deals right now. I spoke with my RV expert last week. She just spoke at a huge RV and camping expo and is now under contract for another 3 RV parks. This is the woman who's our expert in RV parks. And I'm very intentional about the women I chose because it's not just about, are they good in that real estate space? It's also very much for me. I need their values, their principles, what they believe in, and their priorities to match up with me. Because at the end of the day, I want to have a group of women where we go on vacation together, where I say, we just bought this hotel in Puerto Rico, which I am working on. But I did it with 24 of my best friends.
Mhm.
You know, women who value their family, value their faith, value hard work and the power of community and the ability to see the power in others and to not make it a competition, but how can we work together? Because none of us are getting anywhere alone.
Ah, I love it. I love it. You're so right about that. And you're correct about many women are very service oriented and very always thinking about others. Who am I serving? How does it feel? Because that's what makes them feel good.
Yeah,
They feel good when they're serving others. And that's what being a mother is, right?
yeah,
It's
100%.
it's about serving. And so that's why it doesn't show up as work. That's why it
Right.
doesn't show up for a woman as heavy because that's what they enjoy doing. That's what they're in business for.
Well, and I figure, so if you have a bunch of these women who all love to serve, they're all serving each other. They're all serving each other in different ways or in how, and I think women are also very perceptive. Like we are better at sales many, many times. Numbers show. I don't know why I know that, but I know that because I had to look it up for something. But it's because we read people just intuitively because we are nurturing, because we want to serve, because we want to help. So, for better or for worse, and sometimes it's to our own detriment, we are able to just kind of sense in people things that are for us or things that are not for us. And that goes with acquisitions or dispositions or anything in real estate as well. We're able to see those. How can I help them? Because I want women to say, okay, I found this property. How can I make this good for me, but also for the seller, also for the buyer, so that it's not
For
just
the
then
lender.
about them? Yeah, I want everyone to have a good experience. And if we all go in there with good intentions and do our best to do our best, everyone can walk away and have what they need.
Well, it's that thing called women's intuition. You're so
Yeah.
right about that, that it really does boil down to intuition and
Hmm.
that feel, that gut feel like, is this good for me? Is this not good for me? Does this resonate? And it is so important that people have a woman advisor. My whole office is run by women. And it's because of that very thing that I'm able to get so much benefit from that. And, uh, and so as a result of that, many things operate without me having to be present because once they're trained and once they have the tools, the training, the technology, the team, once they have that, then they can just run with it because they don't really need any further oversight other than our meetings, our regular meetings.
Right.
And then otherwise they know what to do and know how to do it. And I rely on that intuition. I rely on, what do you think? How does that
Mhm.
feel for you? And if they say, we got to get rid of this one right here, one of our troubled clients, that may be living in a home.
Troubled. Troubled is the word.
Troubled people cause trouble, right?
Yes.
So no need to have them in your life, and I give them the freedom to move forward with that
Yeah.
in order to, have that comfort and that peace of mind and less stress.
Yeah.
That's a quite beautiful thing that we've talked about today. Now, when people want to connect with you, how do they do that?
Instagram, Karianne G. Klomp. You would not believe it, but Karianne Klomp was taken. I don't know how that happened because I don't feel like that's, my name's not like Mary Johnson. I don't know. Karianne G. Klomp on Instagram. Also, my offer page to sign up for the free masterclass, www.offer.shex3.com. I'm also on Facebook with those same SheX3 or Karianne G. Klomp.
Oh, wow. Congratulations. Well, definitely, I think it's great for you to have this group and this community that you are serving. And I know that a lot of my listeners who are entrepreneurs and female entrepreneurs are definitely going to want to connect with you and and have some interesting times and interesting conversations with you as well. And I love the bite-sized pieces that you've put together there, so it makes a lot of sense for people that are on the go and have a life like a ball of string.
100%.
Well, thanks so much again, and hey, everyone, we will see you again soon on another installment of The Whole Enchilada of Real Estate Investing with Lou Brown. See you again soon. Yeah, baby. Thanks for tuning in to The Whole Enchilada of Real Estate Investing. I hope you're feeling ready to take your investing game to the next level. If you're serious about building wealth, you won't want to miss the Millionaire Jumpstart. It's a 3-day live event that's perfect for any level of investor. Whether you're just getting started or you're looking to scale, this can be one of the final steps of making real wealth happen. So, what are you waiting for? Enroll now at millionairejumpstart.com and get ready to make big moves in your real estate journey. I'm Lou Brown. Until next time, keep hustling, and remember, it's not about how much you make, it's about how smart you play the game.